We came to the White House to talk to the border czar, Tom Homan, to better understand why the government says that these men are all terrorists.
I'm asking about the Venezuelans who were sent to another country, were thrown into a prison without any due process.
Hundreds of hours were spent on verifying they're a member of a
Yeah, but due
terrorist
process
gang.
means you can be in front of a judge. It doesn't mean that people only investigate and declare you a criminal or a gang member.
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting in. We are not allowed to interact, to speak to any of the prisoners. Is it possible to get a tattoo like this if you're not a gang member?
No, you gotta kill. Like, try to act strong in the day and cry in the nighttime.
You cry at night?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tear gas that's been deployed by police.
CBS's Lilia Luciano is the only U.S. network correspondent inside Venezuela.
They assembled peacefully, and that's when police started arriving, and all of this confrontation started taking place. How do you describe what happened tonight?
It's a grotesque violation of the popular will.
We're hearing the jets and also watching some of the smoke from those Israeli airstrikes as they hit Gaza. Do you worry about their safety in Gaza given the way that the invasion is taking place?
Of course.
A lack of intelligence, however, wasn't the problem, says Margaret Vanstein. She's part of a unit of female soldiers who surveilled the Gaza side of the border. They underestimated Hamas and people like you.
And people like me, yes.
Lilia Luciano was the only reporter to sit down with Madawi, and she was there when federal agents took him away.
We're on our way to meet up with Mohsen, who has been in hiding for weeks, and he fears that the administration is coming after him next.
Is this a honey trap?
You think they could be calling you in to detain you?
Correct.
This is ICE. All of those trucks were ICE. Mohsen Madawi was led out of the building in handcuffs by agents wearing masks.
If my story will become another story for the struggle to have justice, let it be.
And pass on the traditional Afro-Puerto Rican music, but because the wall belongs to the U.S. Park Service, they're not allowed to do it there anymore, so they moved here.
This is the first time that Puerto Ricans are united this way. This is history.
From as far back as I remember, you're one of the very few global artists who has been very verbal and intentional about Puerto Rico's independence or the potential for independence. What has that been like in your career for you?
To talk about independence in Puerto Rico at the beginning was very tough.
El campo, the countryside, smells different, feels different. It's a lot cooler up here. We're at about 2,000 feet altitude in Ay Bonito, in the center of the island. And this area has some of the richest land to grow essentially any kind of crop you want. This here is the Constitution of Puerto Rico, Constitución del Estado Libre Asociado, which established the current form of government, the Free Associated State of Puerto Rico, in 1952. The three branches of government, like in the U.S. And a fun fact, this signature here is my great-grandfather. He was a representative for the San Juan district of Puerto Rico when they signed the Constitution.